Hey, this is John with Dyno Equipment and Outdoors, and we're going to show you to take the backhoe off of a 1025. So this should be the same for every bad boy 1025 out there. It's got a BBH 105 backhoe. So coming down here, the first thing is we're going to unpin our 3-point arms. This is exactly how it comes from the plant in Batesville, Arkansas. Just going to remove that there, and that's going to drop down. We're going to keep all this right here for now. Same thing on this side. We're just doing this just to make it a little bit easier for us. Coming up here, we're going to remove this top link. It's held on by the zip tie here. And that's exactly how they do it in Batesville. There's going to be one on that side there I'm going to remove. I'm just going to pick that up. I'm just going to set it out of the way. These here, not 100% necessary to take off right now, but we're going to go ahead and do it just to get them out of our way. Once those are off there, our next step is we're going to start this tractor here in a little bit to apply down pressure to remove it. I'll show you that here in a second. All right, we're just moving these down. There may be a little bit of water in these because it's been raining a lot here in Arkansas, so you'll see some water drain out there. Totally normal if your tractor's been in rain. So now I'm going to start this tractor up. Now that that's started, I'm going to go ahead and rotate this boom around. I'm going to remove this. This is just a transport pin here. I did that just to relieve pressure off of it. It had some pressure on it. We're going to pull this seat up forward to just get it out of our way, make it easier to see everything. So now we're going to let everything down now that all of our transport pins are clear. We're going to pick up on it just a little bit to relieve pressure off of our pins up here, just like that. And you can see now that pin moves freely. We're just going to pull those 2 pins, and these are actually the only 2 pins that holds it on. Coming around here, now it sits in a little cradle down there. It's kind of hard to see, but all we're going to do is we're going to lift our stabilizer arms up to remove it out of that cradle. So let's try that now. All right, so now we just released it out of the cradle there, and all we're going to do is drive forward just a little bit. I'm going really slow because we want to watch these hydraulic lines. The hydraulic lines are so expensive, and we just don't want to cut these or rip these out, break them or anything like that. But now that it's released, our main goal is to relieve pressure off of these lines. And the reason why I want to do that is when we go to hook it back up, if you don't relieve the pressure, it's going to be very hard to hook these back up. So we're going to let our backhoe down. We'll put some blocks underneath it. One underneath this. We'll see if this will hit the ground there. All right, let's see what happens here. So we're going to wiggle everything here because we don't want absolutely no pressure. See some pressure there. So we just don't want any pressure in those lines. So now we're going to disconnect our hydraulics, just like an air compressor hose. Just like that. It's going to be some hydraulic fluid come out, which is totally normal there. We always want to cap all of our lines. We don't want any dirt or anything coming in there, so just make sure we do that. Now I'm just going to pull forward just a little bit more just to get this thing completely out of the way. But before I do, this is one of the most important parts. We have to reconnect this for our 3-point arms to work. That provides continuous flow to our 3-point right there. So we're going to do that right there. Now we're going to drive forward. So now that that's all out of the way, we're going to hook our 3-point up. Their nice thing is it's kind of already on there. So all we're going to have to hook up are these guys right here. So this pin here is going to go through. This is going to raise, and it's going to raise to these. So before I do that, I've got to lower our 3-point arms. And again, these are going to be gravity fed. So you may have to pull on them to bring them down because there's not any weight on them. That good there? So now that that's good, we're just going to lift these up, put them on like that. Make sure we put our linch pins through, all of our pins through, and it's as simple as that. And that's how you hook up these 3-point arms. All right, so now that we have it like this, all of our 3-point arms are hooked up. This right here is just on this. Basically, when that backhoe is on, these arms are hooked to this just to keep them out of the way, keep them on your tractor. But now that we have everything hooked up, we showed you how to do it, we're going to take it off. So we're just going to reverse the process. So these will come off just like that. This pin's going to come through just like that. We'll take it off. JC's going to take that side off. All right, so now we're going to take all these off. We're going to set them out of the way. Just make sure we don't lose them, as we're going to actually put them back on. It's not necessary we're going to put them back on, make sure we don't lose them down the road. I'm just going to raise these hydraulics up out of the way for now. I just don't want to pinch them whenever I slide this all back in there. I'm going to scoot the tractor back now. JC's going to watch me, so we'll see how we do. Now that we're positioned, we're going to hook all of our hydraulics back up to this tractor. So remember, it's just going to connect, disconnect like an air compressor hose. There's only one way this can go. Obviously, that's not going to work. So this one will hook in here. And remember, we talked about before, this should be easy to push, and I can push that. But if it's hard for you to push, there's two things you're going to have to do. Either one, force that down without breaking it, or two, take 2 wrenches and loosen this up. Fluid's going to pour out. It's going to relieve that pressure, and then you're going to be able to hook it up. So we're going to hook this up now, just like that. I grab this hose and hook this side up. But again, there's only one way this can hook up, so it's kind of dummy proof. Can't mess it up. Just like so. Now that those are hooked up, I now have hydraulic pressure back to my backhoe. So we're going to raise this backhoe up, get it on the cradle first. We're going to try that now. Now I'm just going to raise these stabilizers up. We're going to raise this up just to get out of our way. So we forgot to show you all this in the video, but just make sure before you do that, you raise these back up, just get them out of the way. Now it's out of the way, we're just going to raise these guys up here. Now that I know I'm high enough, I'm just going to scoot back. It's going to line up perfectly for that cradle. All right, now that we have scooted the tractor back, we're going to keep it running to make sure we have the hydraulic flow for our backhoe here. We got it lined up. We're just going to kind of lower it down into this cradle here. Kind of see it's going right down perfect, just like we want. I don't want this. I still want this to line up, so we're going to do like that. We're just going to lift these up out of the way now, and we're going to push this boom forward, which is going to make our pins be able to line up there. Looks about right there. So we're not lined up 100%, so I'm going to try to, right there, I got mine in, right there. So now we got those pins in. We're going to put our linch pins back. We got our pins in. Now we just got to put these pins right here through it, just like that. JC's already got that one in. Now we're just going to remove this. If our backhoe falls, we did something wrong, but it didn't fall, so we should be good there. Now, if y'all remember when we first started, everything was on this tractor that we need to use, but it was all stationary, so we'll never lose any of this stuff. So we're just going to put all that stuff back on, which requires this and this. And that just folds down just like that. It's going to go on here. I believe that pin was through it. Just like that. And that just keeps that in place. Next is going to be our top link here. This top link literally just goes on like a perfect spot for it right there. We're going to let JC put that on first. There we go. Now we're going to stick our top link here. This was just zip tied before, so I'm just going to get some zip ties, just zip tie that there. And the same thing underneath. I'm just going to use that same pin to put our 3-point arms to keep them up out of the way. So that's it for this. This was a 1025 bad boy, has the BBH 105 backhoe on it. Just wanted to give y'all a tutorial on that there. If any more questions y'all have, let us know. We've been requested this a lot. We're going to show some more backhoes too from Bad Boy. Look forward to seeing you later on.